back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about what is commonly referred to as the 1858 Remington New Model Army. And that's really not a correct designation for this arm, because the Model 1858 was more commonly referred to as the Remington Beals model. And it didn't really see large-scale production until 1861, and the new Model Army wasn't actually designed until 1863, but it did run all the way until 1875. During the Civil War, the Remington models kind of took a side seat to the Colt Model 1860 Army for the Union Army, and it really didn't see any large-scale use until after the mysterious Colt fire at their factory in 1864, after which the 1860s were no longer available from Colt, so the Remington models took forefront and were used by the majority of the troops. And they found that the new Model Army was more reliable and more accurate than the Colt, actually, although they did cost more by 50 cents in those days, which equals out to about $15 today. And it was found to be more durable, more reliable, and the durability really comes from the top strap here design, and it didn't put any undue pressure on the arbor like it did in the Colts with the open top. And it's easier to reload. You could put new cylinders in, just drop down the charging handle or the loading lever and pull out the arbor and put it in safe half cock, and the cylinder just rolls out. But it wasn't really used that way because extra cylinders were not issued to the troops. Alright, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this Remington. As I said, this is a reproduction by Pieta, and it is the target model, which isn't really historically correct, but is supposed to be more accurate. But we will be finding out today. This came from EMF Company, and I believe they are still on sale as of the recording of this video. Now, if you notice, this Remington is not wearing the stock grips from the factories. Now, it doesn't have the factory grips on, which brings me to my next subject. Today's video is proudly sponsored by NC Ordnance. They make excellent grips. The one that is on here right now is the jigged bone. Let's get a closer look at that detail. That is absolutely fantastic. The fit is incredible. They make them for both Pieta, Uberti, and just about any model that you can think of. Now this, as I said, is the jigged bone, which is a very lovely design. And this one is my personal favorite. It is a ram's horn. Now they cast and make all of their molds and grips on site, and this took months to perfect, and each one is individual, and they look slightly different in variations from the other. I mean, look at that coloration. I mean, that is absolutely magical to me. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful color, beautiful fit, beautiful finish, and it feels really good in the hand. Excellent. It's my personal favorite for this 1858. Now I'm going to leave a link in the description below to NC Ordnance, to their website. I mean, they've got every kind of grip you can imagine for every model. They've got wood, they've got polymer, they've got fossilized walrus and fossilized mammoth. I kid you not. I mean, these guys have everything. They've been doing it for 45 years, and I am proud that they are sponsoring this video. Absolutely proud to promote their products because they are absolutely wonderful. You cannot get a better grip at the price point that these guys are at. You're not going to find it. If you guys have been watching for a while, you know that I'm not going to show a new arm without some leather for it to go in. Now, as the new Model Army continued on into 1875. I felt it was appropriate to have a Mexican loop, a single Mexican loop, which was very popular in the 1870s, as well as a simple pistol belt. All right. These came from Buffalo Arms Company, and they have sent a few products before. They sent the sling for the blunderbuss. They wrap around the butt sling. They make excellent products. They carry excellent products. I would suggest calling them or going to their website. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. But this is an absolute fantastic holster. Let's see how it fits. It fits absolutely perfectly. Perfectly. Look at that. You can't ask for a better fit than that. Even with the target sights. Fits beautifully. It's like it was made for this arm, the 1858. Perfect in length. Absolutely fantastic. I would suggest this. Let's go ahead and get a closer look of this leather. Now when you first get these, both the holster and the belt are rather thick. They're made out of bridle leather, as they were back in those times. You just need to roll it between your fingers, and you'll see the color change when you do that. It'll get lighter, but don't worry, that's not going to be permanent. It's only temporary. You roll it very tightly with both the holster and the belt, and it'll make it soft and supple in no time. It is perfect. Look at that. It is exactly like it was made in the 1870s. This is a copy. And the belt is the same way. When you first get it, you just squeeze it very tightly in your fingers and just roll it through like that. It does not hurt the leather. It is good quality leather. It just loosens it up, makes it nice and supple, and you get that marbling. It's fantastic. Let's take a look at this rig on. As was the style of the day, the gun belt was worn canted down toward the strong hand to make the weapon easier accessible to its user. Right at just about hand level, like so. It's easier to draw, access, what have you, and holster back. Now that we've gone over a little information and some history about what is commonly referred to as the 1858 Remington New Model Army, let's see how well the Target model from Pieta does. Okay, we are loaded with 30 grains of 3F powder and 454 ball with number 10 Remington percussion caps. See how it patterns. Alright, our target is approximately 25 to 30 yards. Let's see how she does. Right, from here it looks like it's kind of everywhere. Let's take a look. Although all 6 targets are on the paper, it is kind of everywhere. Let's try that again. Okay, we are reloaded. Let's try that again. Alright, looks like we patterned very well that time. Let's take a look. Alright, all of them went into this area right here. Except for one flyer, I believe. I believe that was a flyer. They all went into this one area right there. Not bad at all. Some side adjustment, it should be right on target. As you can see, it was a little off on the windage to the right, which is very easy to fix with this rear sight. You just use a small hex key or an Allen wrench and go in there and adjust the sight. You loosen this side, or the side that is off. You need to move it, and then tighten the other side. Although it was firing high and the rear sight is all the way down, I will have to go in. They did leave a little meat left on there for you to adjust. I'll have to take a needle file and bring that down. I'll do an update video on that at a later date. Alright guys, there you have it. This is brand new. This is the first time I've fired it, so that would explain the first group. I did eyeball adjust the rear sight to kind of get the windage close, which it got fairly close with the windage. And I mentioned just a moment ago about the rear sight needing to be taken down just a little bit to get that sight picture on target, to the point of aim, to the point of impact. Altogether, I would suggest this. It is fairly accurate and it feels good in the hand, and it's the Pieta, and this model does not hit my middle finger like a lot of them do. Most of the time it's an Uberti that does that, because their grips are a little bit smaller in the frame, and it tears my knuckle up. It just slams that trigger guard into my finger. But this one does not do that. So if you've got big hands like I do, I would suggest the Target model. It does appear to have a slightly larger grip, much like the large framed Pietas for the 1858s. They have a large framed model as well, and that does not hit your knuckle the same fashion as the others do. I would suggest this, and I would also suggest the grips from NC Ordnance. Their grips, especially these ram horn, man, their grips are absolutely fantastic. It did not slip, it did not move. They really grab onto your hand, and it feels good in the hand and natural, and it just feels absolutely wonderful. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, and since you're down there, you might as well subscribe. Alright guys, stay tuned, because I've got a very interesting little series of videos coming up. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.